Guys, welcome to the ink shop. I'm on location today, a little bit of road action. Got a special episode here for you today. I want at least one episode a month to have like an artist spotlight episode where I introduce you guys to a tattoo artist that's local, and kind of just give you his backstory and let's tell him about himself, show his work. If we're lucky, we'll get him in action sometimes, or he or she, depending on who we talk to. For this episode, we are at Tried and True Tattoo in Elyria, Ohio. We're gonna talk to my good buddy Josh. Talked about him in a couple episodes. So yeah, without further ado, welcome to the ink shop.
Well, what got me into tattooing is actually I just kind of fell into it. I was coming here from tattoos from Matt, the owner, and after a few years I got lucky enough to be able to get a job here. April, the piercer, who was working here at the time, decided not to do piercings anymore, and he had an apprentice named Troy who was a really good artist, but he ended up getting a job at Ford. So Matt needed someone to help out. Obviously I didn't have interest at the time in tattooing, but I wanted to help him out. Now, it ended up just being a part-time job for a little while until it was only Matt here working by himself. At that point, he needed someone to be here full-time, and I started helping out. That lasted for a few years up until I had my daughter. What I like most about tattooing is every day is a different experience. You never know what's going to walk in the door, you never know who you're going to tattoo, what they're going to want, and it's exciting. The most difficult part about tattooing is there's no erasers, there's no second chances, you're on your own. So if you aren't happy with the way a tattoo is done, then you have to fix it and you have to make it right for that person because they're trusting in you to wear this tattoo for the rest of their lives. So you want it to be right for them, you want them to be super happy when it's finished. So you have to take your time, don't rush anything, just relax and just let it come naturally and do the best you can for people every single time you tattoo. What advice would I have for people looking to get into tattooing? Learn as much as you can from as many people as you can. There's a lot of information out there, not all of it's right, but just pick up little pieces from everybody. One person can't just show you the world when it comes to tattooing. It's awesome to have an apprenticeship, but everybody tattoos a little bit different. Pick up different tips and tricks from everybody and take your time. Don't rush it. It's a long process. Just get a little bit better every single day and it'll go a long way. I love tattooing. I think it's amazing that people are able to express themselves through artwork and visually. Tattooing has changed my life. I felt way more confident when I started getting tattoos, and it's awesome. Anywhere I go now, people want to stop, talk to me about tattoos, and I never have a problem with that. I love discussing people's ideas, what they want to get, because it's a way they can tell me about themselves without it being like uncomfortable in an awkward situation. So tattooing's awesome. I love it. I do actually. My very first tattoo was just this little writing on my forearm. At the time when I got it, I thought it was a huge tattoo. Like, I was proud of it. I wore it around all the time. But now obviously it just blends into this arm. But I actually started with a natural progression. I just started with one sleeve, then two sleeves, then after that's when the real fun began. I had to start getting my torso done, and that's a game changer when you switch from your arms to other parts of your body, because it's definitely not the same pain wise, and that was difficult. The most painful tattoo, I have to go with the armpits. Not only is it painful while you're getting it done, the healing's painful. Afterwards, you cannot put your arms down all the way. The swelling inside your armpit just makes your arms stick out sideways, so it's just awkward. I have two in both, I have one in each armpit, and neither of which I was able to get finished, and that's the only time that's ever happened to me in tattooing, and I have most of my body done, so. That's hard to say. I love my neck tattoo because it definitely, most people talk about it. When I meet them, they want to ask questions on my neck tattoo. All my tattoos are great for different reasons, because I have great artists who I got to work with and learn from and get tattoos from, so I love them all. I would say my favorite was probably the center of my chest. Is inspired by an Italian artist. His name was Pietro Sada. We were really into him at the shop for a little while, a couple months. We like looking at his work. He would do faces of men, but with different elements coming out of the top of their head. So I chose to do a nautical theme with a old sailor type man with a whale coming out of his head, and the artist was Matt. He's the owner, Matt Serino at Tried and True Tattoo. He was able to incorporate enough features to make it look very similar to the Italian artist himself, and I love it. I don't actually have a least favorite tattoo. I have tattoos that I'm not happy with, not because of the art itself, but because I have bad psoriasis on my legs. So a lot of the tattoos are actually getting ruined a little bit from the psoriasis, and it's unfortunate because it was great work, but it just sort of happens. Like, if you have psoriasis or a skin condition, a lot of times when you have a needle touch you, it flares it up, and that irritation to the skin can cause issues. So unfortunately, that's happened to a few of my leg tattoos. They're missing chunks of ink now, but I still love all of them. Well, the first you need to decide what you want and where you want to get it. That's a big battle. A lot of people, believe it or not, don't know exactly what they want or where they want to get it at, and they think the artist can help them, but really the idea has to come from you. The artist can draw up anything that you want or incorporate different features in it, but if you need to have that base idea down to really guide us in a direction. So I would definitely do your research. Also figure out which artist is best fitting for the style of tattoo you want. So definitely have reference images and look at their reference images, look at tattoos they've done, and make sure it matches up, because everybody has different styles and different techniques, and not everybody can do all the styles. So definitely do your homework on that.
And there you have it. Thank you so much for watching The Ink Shop. Thank you, Josh, for being on and telling us your great stories. Love the ink, love what you do. If you want to schedule with Josh and get a tattoo, all you have to do is click the link in the description below, or just follow him on Instagram, though. Will be in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching The Ink Shop. Until next time.